algorithm changes are always here, but it just keeps you on your toes. You've got to keep learning, you've got to keep reading, you've got to keep experimenting. I think that just be ready to change as and when the landscape changes would be my advice. Lots of people know theory, but the practice is much stronger skill than just knowing the theory. Many people can try digital PR, but not many people can succeed at digital PR.
Linkhouse, more than link building platform.
Welcome at Linkhouse. This is Marta speaking directly from a conference in Estonia. How are you, Gareth?
I'm really good, Marta. Glad to be here, helping you guys with your content generation.
Oh, that's amazing that you joined us today. Thank you very much. We're going to kick off with a very simple question. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who really Gareth Hoyle is.
Well, it's a question that many of us want to know. So I'm Gareth.
Give us a sneak peek.
Yeah, I've been working in SEO for over 16 years now. I run a link building agency for just as long. I built it up to 300 people and then worked it back down to 25 people. I'm much happier with 25 people than with 300. So many less headaches. I believe in 4-day week. I believe that 32 hours is enough time to spend on work in your life so that you have more time to enjoy life and balance.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
I'm
Are you actually
strange.
Practicing it?
Yeah, so for the last 2 years, my agency has been doing 4 days. So every 2 weeks, my team get Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. No annual leave. So
wow.
Yeah, I'm a strange employer that doesn't believe in working too hard.
And how did that affect your results?
The results are fine because the output is still there, but retention of staff is amazing. Recruitment is easier because, hey, everybody wants to take 3-day weekends.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have a different approach to working life than many, I guess.
The work and life balance is very important for
Well,
you.
we are intelligent people. We don't need to work hard with our hands. We can work smart with our heads.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really cool to hear. Well, before we get to SEO, a little off topic.
Yeah.
What book recently impressed you the most? What books do you recommend? Do you have any favorite authors?
Yeah, so I used to read avidly as a child. Now I listen. So I eat audiobooks, podcasts, things like this. I don't really listen to or read business books either. Like, I feel like I have enough business stuff in the daytime. So I read a lot of travel stuff to try and escape. So even like old stuff, like there's a guy called Michael Palin, is a British author guy. But yeah, I like to be taken away to different worlds, not necessarily fantasy worlds, but like different parts of this world. So I definitely read more travel than and history than I do like business type books. Business is boring. I do a business all day. Why would I want to read all night?
You're a practitioner.
Yeah, or practitioner, or just realistic about how much of my life I want to dedicate to work and how much I want to enjoy my life.
But if you would have to recommend a book to someone who's just starting their adventure with SEO, what would it be?
How to install WordPress on a server and build a website. But the best way to learn SEO is to try it.
Really?
So yeah, rather than you can read all the theory you want, all the blog posts you want, build a website, rank it for some keywords, break it, fix it. That is how I learn. And that's how I believe that is the best way of learning how to do SEO.
That's actually an amazing advice. This is something worth remembering.
I think so. Like lots of people know theory, but the practice is much stronger skill than just knowing the theory.
It's like recruiting people. The experience is not as important as the actual skill.
Yeah, absolutely. Or even a desire to learn.
Yes.
But also put your learnings into practice. Like that's a big thing for me.
Great. And tell us something about your career. When did you realize that SEO was what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so many years ago when I was at university, I worked for General Electric. And I was the middleman between India back office and America front office. And what this taught me was about outsourcing. So when I graduated university, I started my own web design company. We were terrible. Like, we didn't really know what we were doing. But one thing that I did pick up is that there were a lot of SEO companies that were buying from India. So I decided, well, why can't I create an Indian company and I can be the face of it in England? And then I knew that the profits from outsourcing are high. So that's what I started to do. And what I loved about SEO rather than web design is SEO gives you money every month. Whereas web design, you make the website, it's done.
And that's it.
Yeah. So the recurring income model was appealing to me as a business guy.
How to achieve the results the clients need from their PR campaigns?
Well, I think the first thing that a client can do to help us achieve results from PR campaigns is sign off the press release. Like, so many times we work with quite big brands and we get trapped in administration. So, this must be signed off by legal, compliance need to sign this off. So more than anything, I think internal education on why we're asking for this to be done is going to help. And releasing the data, like so many big companies have so much data held within them, but they won't allow us to use it to create the stories.
Yeah. But looking at the European laws, that is also something they can't do.
Yeah, I guess, but there's ways of anonymizing the data. Like, we don't necessarily want to put your name in lights, but maybe we can take the trends that you're finding from your sales data and things like that. But the clients are their own worst enemies. There you go. That is a good soundbite for you.
I agree. What is your recipe for the perfect press release?
Yeah, so for me, with when my team are creating press releases, and I have to say it's my team that create most of the press releases these days rather than myself. So there is a balance between being too short and not giving the journalist enough hooks to understand what the story we're trying to tell is, and giving them too much information. Like, if your press release is 2 or 3 pages of A4, the journalist won't read it. Like, some journalists are getting hundreds of emails every day. Like, how are you going to stand out in the noise? Get your title right. The title of the email that you send to journalists has to stand out in a list of 25 other emails. Maybe use an emoji. Maybe use a graph going up. Maybe use capitals in certain words. Stuff like this is going to help. We always find that the journalists sometimes want the data so they can make their own interpretations. So why not give them a spreadsheet of the data as well as giving the highlights within the body of the email?
So can you give us like some more insight on the perfect title that you created? Is there an actual tip that you can give people?
Yeah, well, so we tend to target the journalists that have already written about the subject area that we're trying to get the coverage for. So we found that we get a higher open rate if we can reference something they already wrote about.
Oh, cool.
Because then they can see that we've done our research, which gives more credibility to the research we're trying to pitch them.
Oh, that's a great advice. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt, but if you like our talk with Gareth Hoyle, you can't miss the webinar with him. Sign up using the link in the video description or pinned comment and learn more about SEO from Gareth. Okay, let's get back to the podcast.
Are there any important underestimated factors that are not talked about enough? What are you focusing on?
In links in general?
Maybe let's refer to what you were doing with the digital PR.
On the PR stuff, for me, if you're doing survey-based PR, having enough respondents to add validity to your research. So if you ask 15 people, you could ask 15 people in a bar and 15 people in a museum and get very different results. If you have at least 500 respondents in your survey, then you're going to get a much more rounded opinion. And therefore, there is much more validity into the results of the research that you're presenting. In the US, we try and recommend at least 1,500 people because then I guess from a selfish point of view as well, the more people you ask, the more angles you can find within the data. And then the more press releases you can create, the more stories you can tell, the more links you can build. Yeah,
so data is the secret, isn't it?
On the creative side, absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. Is journalist outreach harder than it used to be like a few years ago?
Unquestionably, yes. As more and more SEOs, shall we say, realize that guest posts are becoming less effective. I wouldn't say they're ineffective, and we still deliver a lot of guest posts for our clients, but a lot of people are also seeing that the client budget is shifting to digital PR. Therefore, the tactics that the SEO agencies are selling is shifting to digital PR. So I think that there's more people offering digital PR as a service. There's more people sending emails to the journalists. Harrow was broken by SEOs because of ChatGPT and just the volume of inquiries that they were sending. I feel sorry for being a journalist now. Like, you just get so much noise in your face from digital marketers. But
it can be overwhelming.
It can be overwhelming, but like all businesses, the good will float to the top and the bad will drown. So many people can try digital PR, but not many people can succeed at digital PR.
Okay, thank you very much. Looking at your experience, what link building tactics do you recommend?
Yeah, so we use a very simple methodology with our link building, which is real links from real sites with real traffic. So relevancy is always good. If I'm working with a B2B client, it would be good to get some trade press. If we're working with a fashion brand, it would be good to get some influencer fashion bloggers. Really, the links that you place should drive traffic. So yes, we want the link. Yes, we want the authority, but also we want access to their community. We want access to their email lists. We want access to their social presence profiles. So really, I would say that if the link exists just for SEO, it's going to come with risk at some unknown point in the future.
The year 2024, looking at the last few months that has been happening at Google, what are your thoughts on the recent events? I mean, AI overviews, Google leak, and recent algorithm changes.
Algorithm changes are always here. Like, this isn't a new thing. Like, since I've been working in SEO since around 2008, algorithm changes have been occurring. The last 12 months have been crazy in the number of algorithm changes we've had. But it just keeps you on your toes. You've got to keep learning. You've got to keep reading. You've got to keep experimenting. But if you focus on creating content for users in the format that search engines want, algorithm changes shouldn't matter to you, because you're marketing the business for the user, not just for Google. AI overviews. I mean, Google has not done a very good job at this so far. I believe they told us to glue cheese to a pizza in one example.
There was one bit like that, yeah.
I think they told somebody to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, but that could have been, you know what, you never know how much is SEO industry faking this as well now. But I think Google will fix it. They have to. I think it was a knee-jerk reaction to Microsoft and OpenAI. I think the Google shareholders want to know what Google's position on AI is. So Google has to be seen to be doing something. But the reality is AI is here. It's not going away. Google is going to incorporate it into its search results.
So we have to adjust.
We have to adjust, as always. Like, I find that if ever I'm getting comfortable with how SEO is going, then change is coming. That is SEO. Like, you have to get used to the change all the time.
So the thing that you have to expect is something unexpected.
Always. And I think the Google leak, SEOs love something to gossip about. SEOs love something to rant on Twitter about or X about. The leak was not, it was a list of variables. It was a list of data points that Google takes into consideration. We don't know how much of this was their internal testing. We don't know how much of this was a little bit of the algorithm or a big part of the algorithm. It makes some interesting reading. And I'm sure a lot of people got some good coverage off the back of it. But I think that really, based on what we know from the leak, we are not massively changing our strategy, because we believe in what we're doing in real links, real sites, marketing businesses to their relevant audiences. Shouldn't change too much, no matter what you know about the algorithm.
Great. How do you see the future of link building and SEO in coming years?
If I knew that, we would all be driving Ferraris. I think that links will always be part of the algorithm. I think that Google's fundamental page rank is based on links, and I'm sure they don't use the same original algorithm. But I think that fundamentally links will be part of the way it works. And I think that, again, if you market your business to your customers rather than marketing it to Google, then it shouldn't really matter what the tactics are. The way that we consume data changes, the way we consume information changes. My attention span is an 8-second reel now. So are we going to make more short form video content for our customers, which will then rank on Google SERPs, rather than creating long form text-based content, which will also rank on Google SERP, but maybe further down, because the trend is for video content, which Google will push to the top. It has a higher click-through rate. I think that just be ready to change as and when the landscape changes would be my advice.
Great. And if SEO turns out to be dead, what will you do?
If SEO turns out to be dead, then companies will still need to sell to customers. There will just be a different channel. There will be a different vessel. There will be a different format that we consume. Maybe I will become a TikToker. I don't know. Or maybe I will do TikTok advertising.
I'm really looking forward to it. I think you have the presence and the energy to do it.
I don't doubt I could. I'm not sure I have the commitment to do 8 videos a day, if I'm honest. But I think the SEO will never die. It will change. It will adapt, because the internet will never die. People always need to find information, whether it's commercial, or whether it's just learning something. It's just the way that we find the information may change.
Right. Gareth, thank you very much for the interview.
You're welcome.
It was amazing to meet you today at the conference. Guys, please like our videos, subscribe our channel, and see you soon.